Welcome into the Sporty Show, ladies and gentlemen. It's a pleasure to have you here. As always, I am Sara Pararia, joined by the one and only Klinton.
Yes, boy. Wagwan, where he laugh here. Come on, Jesus. I was just waiting for the camera to come on here because they were getting me upset at that point. Like, fam, you can't. They can't continue making me waste all these teas, man. Jesus Christ, man. God. Like, no, Sarah, you noticed it, right?
I saw the camera here. Like, hold the smile,
No, listen, I think I need to start pemming my hair or something. Maybe because I feel like Sarah has come on the show looking, like...
Sorry, what's my name?
Yesterday I'm doing... Yeah. Payback. That's payback. Yesterday she couldn't pronounce my name. Today is me. I said Salah.
Salah.
Now, back in Nigeria, the Igbos, right? If you don't know where the Igbos are basically the people from the eastern part of Nigeria. There's what they call the L syndrome. So whatever they have to pronounce that starts with an R, they say L. So for example, if your name is Rebecca, they say Lebecca, right? So I guess that's not what happened to me there. But anyways, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Klinton Code. We are live here to take you on the journey that you have not expected. We have the one and only, the tallest man in Madrid, right here this afternoon. Not the one and only, right? The man himself, Alex Ashmore. Wagwan. What are you saying, brother?
Good to be back. It's been, 24 hours.
Yes.
Yep.
Gone quickly. Very excited to talk about more football and, it's getting closer to the season starting. It's now only 8 days.
Yeah. No, I
can't 8 days away.
I can't wait.
Guys.
I'm ticking off the days in my calendar. It can't come soon enough.
Trust me.
In 1 week's time, we will be talking about La Liga. La Liga will officially have started, the first of the big five to kick off the season.
For me, I can't wait to speak about the Premier League. I just want to see Nicholas Jackson give me something to speak about.
You called me the tallest man in Madrid. I may not actually be the tallest man in Madrid anymore.
Really?
Real Madrid have just signed Sergi Baca for the basketball team. He's 2 centimeters taller than me. So.
Right. Okay. So you're only like 24. So you still have some growing to do, right? Come on, Alex. Fine. There's still time to catch up. There's still time to catch up.
For all my Torontonians, Sergi Baca, you know what it is, Toronto Raptors, and now he's playing in Madrid. What a guy! Out of the Barcelona camp, now he's back in Spain. All right, a little basketball.
Just let it pass me by.
Let it pass you by. All right, guys, like I said, wait a minute. Hold on a second. We have somebody else here. Somebody that we haven't spoken to in a very long time. I'm told, is Gary in the building? Matching
Gary.
purple headset with the sweater, Gary. I expect nothing less.
Gary, are you in Madrid? I mean, okay.
Thank you. You're far too kind.
Gary, are you cold? Are you telling me Gary is acting like there is snow falling in Ghana? Like, come on, is there something we don't know about Accra?
Yeah, it's been cold. It's been a bit cold lately, and I'm in a room that's also quite cold. So.
Right. No, that's bizarre.
It's 40 degrees here every day, Gary. The sun is shining and it is hot.
That's why it feels very awkward to see him. But I'm like, wait, what are you doing? But then I remember he's in Africa.
Gary, talk to us. We haven't seen you since the Euros. It's been a hot couple weeks. How are you? What is new? What have you been up to?
Well, after the Euros, a few days rest and then straight into the track. We've been enjoying the coverage, and I can't wait for the season to begin next week. Vamos, La Liga!
Vamos, La Liga. Yes, guys. Just a quick heads up, we are going to do a massive Premier League chat tomorrow ahead of a very exciting match for Klinton Cod.
Yeah.
Saturday. The Manchester Derby.
Oh, yes, that's the one. No, literally, I can't wait. I just can't wait. I really don't understand. In as much as I'm a Manchester United fan. And you know, when there's a derby, it's usually not the Manchester United that we know. Gary, you would confirm this. When Manchester United face Manchester City, it's like not the normal Manchester United. It's like everybody take, the ones that smoke would smoke, the ones that take whatever it is they take, and then boom, it's like they're on a beast mode, and they're like, yeah, today. Now, we die here. Like, we die here on the pitch. You know, but yeah, I'm looking forward to it, 100%.
Yeah, we'll do a big Community Shield preview. I had my producer Ben saying Community Shield. Well, it's still a Manchester derby, isn't
Well, exactly.
it? I mean, these sometimes. But we're going to do a massive Premier League preview show tomorrow. But today, we have to talk about La Liga and the Serie A, because the Serie A will also be kicking off next Saturday, August 17th. But, Alex, we're in Spain, so I think it only makes sense to start with La Liga. And we're in Madrid. So how about Real Madrid?
Oh.
What do you expect from Los Blancos this season? Obviously, adding the one and only Kylian Mbappe. Endrick has arrived as well. It's getting a little heavy to carry this team.
It is. For those of you who haven't gone Real Madrid's Twitter, have a look at the pictures of Mbappe wearing the shirt. I'm still getting used to it a little bit myself, but I'm sure come October, I'll be like, did he ever play for PSG? It'll be a distant memory when he's banging goals every week. But yes, brilliant to see him and Endrick finally arrive in the capital, and it's exciting times. We talked about this on the presentation day when he was at the Bernabeu, how there's some good headaches for Ancelotti in that squad. There's some world-class players. Not some, there are many world-class players in that squad, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do this season, and I'd be very surprised if they do anything other than win the league and potentially the Copa del Rey and maybe even the Champions League again.
Just an easy treble, no problems. Klinton, is there anything that can stop Real Madrid? We know last season they won the double.
Yeah,
now they have Mbappe.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I see stopping there right now is black magic. And it has to come from Africa. No, it doesn't have to come from any other black nation in the world. Like, you have to go... Or, I mean, if there's any other nation, it can come from maybe India, right? It has to be concrete if you want to stop this team. Like, I'm looking at what they are doing in those training sections right now, and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, wait... these guys, they look so unstoppable. They look this like a cheat team. For those of us
like
that
your
play,
fantasy team.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, in PS5 where you have to start adding different extra, the ultimate team.
This is Division 1.
Yeah, well, exactly. Like this is just this shouldn't be allowed. This is illegal. They like if I was a team like, say, for example, which team is in the Premier League that's the top 4 going to the Champions League, and they are not really up there. I'm just
Liverpool?
trying to...
Man United?
Did you just say Liverpool, though? Did you just say... There's a friend of mine who is a Liverpool fan. If he heard this, he's not coming here with a gun, he's coming here with a bomb. Like, that would be the end of the studio. But just imagine, say, a team like Manchester United facing with the current state that they are now, or even Chelsea. Trust me. Like, imagine Chelsea facing, of course, they are not in the Champions League, but imagine Chelsea facing this Real Madrid.
You had to get there, didn't you?
Well, I mean, yes. I mean, I just had to.
Just in case people forget.
No, but Sarah, imagine Chelsea facing Real Madrid. Like, if I was a Chelsea coach, I would say, no, listen, we're writing a petition. This should not be happening. Like, there's no way. Because before the game starts, we already know the ending. Like, we literally know what the scoreline is going to be. Unless, like I said, there is a black magic that they would have done. That means that, okay, we can go face this team. And hopefully, sometimes black magic, they do fail. Like, I know Gary is in Ghana. Like, by the way, Ghanaians we Nigerians, we go to Ghana to go update the black magic, the voodoo, right? Because, fam, Gary now, when I'm saying these kind of things, be supporting me so he doesn't feel like...
He lies.
He lies.
Gary!
You here to dry.
He lies.
Listen. You know what? These are not the kind of things they are very proud of. But I tell you for free, and this is me spitting out facts, yeah? All the strongest juju, yeah? All the strong, like, everything, even our pastors, yeah? You know the pastors that, not the real ones, the ones that do the fake miracles, and, the ones that will tell you your phone number, they will tell you your name, and they go to Ghanaian pastors. They travel, and they don't go at daytime, they go at night, so people don't trace, they don't know what's going on. But they go meet, if if not for the fact that Gary is actually a successful football journalist, trust me, Gary would have been one of them. Like, I'm not even like even Gary has the looks. Gary has the body stature. And this is wait. You see the way he's doing his hand, hiding his face.
yeah.
This literally how they will look and be like, yo, listen, God is telling me that your daughter-in-law, this is the name. They are that act like Ghanaians. They are very so. For anybody to beat this Real Madrid right now, fam, they have to go to Accra straight up.
Well, from our YouTube comments here, Wisdom Obiro has said Manchester City can stop them or Barcelona with Lamine Yamal. Gary, what do you think? Is Real Madrid unstoppable this season? Oh.
Yeah, we can't.
We've lost Gary's audio. Sorry, Gary, we can't hear you. Can you hear Gary?
No.
We've lost him.
We've
Hi.
lost.
So hi,
There he
I'm
is.
here.
We're good. We're good.
Maybe he
All
was
right.
actually saying no one can beat Real Madrid.
Sorry, my son,
There was
my
no
son is
answer.
banging. My son is banging the door, so I just muted it for a bit.
No problem. No problem.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure.
So talk to me
Ben
about
would have
So I was
Madrid.
turned
saying
it
that
around, all right.
they are going to have a credible challenge, I think, from the way the preseason and preseasons can lie, obviously. But Barcelona are looking like they'll be a good problem to have in La Liga this season. Atleti also, I'm looking at the makeup of their team, and Atleti are doing some really good business, and as they should, because as we know, Atleti they lost 8 away games in the league and finished outside the top 3 for the first time in a full season under Diego Simeone since he was in charge. So they did end the season reasonably strongly to get Champions League football, but I think that they've gone to the room, gone in there to the transfer room and tried to have some stuff sorted out. And I think that the acquisition of some people like Robin Lenormand and Alexander Sordov is really good business, and it makes things look quite interesting. Of course, the departures of people like Morata, Shoyunku, Paulista, Savage, Saul, Memphis, who's released, Hermoso, all these guys is going to make things quite interesting. But I think they have a decent team to give Real Madrid some pressure, and Barcelona as well. With all their incomings, I think there's a good vibe around Barcelona first of all, which is an improvement on last season. All this talk about they being broke, whatever it is, they are certainly having that star power about the team to be able to bring players like Dani Olmo, which is good. It's going to bring some good vibes around that as well. So, hey, I think it's going to be an interesting season. Hopefully, for the sake of competitiveness and for the sake of the league, it's not going to be a walk in the park for Real Madrid. I'm hoping that it's going to be quite competitive for the sake of, the way things should go.
I hope so too. I mean, even last year, although Madrid was much better than Barcelona, they were one of the later teams to solidify their win, clinch the title. We saw Inter Milan win the Serie A in like February or something. It felt so early in the season. So I think with that Liga, like there always is a toss-up of who's going to win and then who's going to make the top 4. Last season, we were singing Girona's prayers, and then unfortunately, they didn't win, but making top 4 is amazing for them. And as Gary mentioned, Atleti are doing the business. We spoke yesterday about Conor Gallagher, Julian Alvarez as well. I mean, not to mention the players Gary named. Like, it could be... These are power moves from Simeone, it seems like, Alex. Like, for the first time in several years, no?
It does. It feels almost... usually when a club goes through what this would be called a rebuild, it takes time. It maybe takes a couple of years. And yes... You could say that it has been going on for a couple of years. They've not been, quite there with the top 2. And I think this season they really are making a statement, like the signings that you've mentioned. They've also got rid of some of the dead rubber players that, are quality players that were coming to the end of their prime and maybe not quite performing week in, week out like Simeone would have hoped. So it seems like they've got a really good squad together. They've done some very sensible business and they've signed some top quality players and players that I think really fit well with that Simeone system. Conor Gallagher, I think, will fit really well. I think he'll do very well in La Liga, and I think Julian Alvarez as well. It's nice to see him. He doesn't quite get the chances that he would have liked at City. I think obviously with Haaland playing up front it's difficult, but it would be nice to see him play week in, week out, and hopefully he can grab some goals. And I actually, if I was to
Alex, I
put
don't
my
know.
predictions in, I can see them finishing second.
Gary, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what you guys think. The two players he mentioned are very hungry players, and I think that will be a difference.
Yeah.
Julian Alvarez has pretty much won everything, but at club level, I feel like he probably feels he needs somebody to trust him to get his A game, and Simeone is absolutely the person to do that. Conor Gallagher, well, what can we say? He's been dying to show everybody, and the past 5 years for English players going abroad have been really interesting. There's been this set of English players who I don't know what it is. Maybe we can have a full discussion later about the factors that have contributed to English players going outside their comfort zone and going to places like Italy, Spain, Germany to go and find their feet and to find people who trust them. I think it's really good. That orientation is rubbing off. And who should we say started it in the last 5 years? In the last 5 years for the English players going abroad.
I mean, Bellingham's a prime example, I think, when you look at
Bellingham.
him.
I mean, Kieran
Yeah.
Trippier was at Atleti prior
Yeah.
to that. He had traveled.
Sancho,
Tammy to
and-
Roma.
Yeah, but then even
Sekou Tomori, who's
yeah,
gone
how-
places
how
now.
long-
Yeah.
Loftus-Cheek.
yeah, exactly. I was just going to mention. I mean, it was Loftus-Cheek to AC Milan. No?
Chris Smalling playing for Roma.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're-
what
yeah,
a
yeah.
that was so great.
Yes, was quite
really
fierce.
good. So I think Atleti are going to be a team to watch as well. Barca, I don't know about the moves that Villarreal and others are making. Obviously, Kelechi Iheanacho has gone to Sevilla.
My
It's going to
boy.
change the tenor of their attack. Yeah, I know you like him. Of their attack a bit. But Girona have had so many players go. I don't possibly see much happening with them. So yeah, unfortunately, I think it's going to be a 3-horse race again, unless something really, really special happens. Yeah.
Yeah, Girona. It's one of those teams that you see this happen when some of the smaller teams when they rise up and then the transfer window comes and they just get picked apart.
Yeah.
We're quite used to it, but let's see what they can do. Maybe they can hold on to a European position. I'm not quite sure, but Klinton. Let's talk a little Barcelona because one player that you grew to love over the Euros, Lamine Yamal, 17-year-old now, as we said.
Why would you say somebody I grew to love? I feel like the whole world grew to love Lamine Yamal. Like, I mean, I'm even pronouncing his name properly.
Because you grew to love him over the Euros.
No, but what I'm saying is, it wasn't just me. It was
No,
literally
it
the
wasn't.
whole
But I
world,
was
like
singing his
everybody.
prayers from the beginning of time.
And we were singing with you, though. Like,
No, but like I was telling
I
you
don't know
guys,
what
this
you
is
were
going to
doing
be a
with singing.
player to watch.
no, Alex, don't start with me now. Don't start with me.
No, I was telling you he's going to be a player to watch. Obviously, I'm a Barcelona fan. I've been watching him for a very long time.
Yeah.
My point is that why are you... Okay, talk to me about Barcelona because you went like this and you said, I'm going to turn the other way. For no reason, just I want chaos.
No, you see, the one thing that I am hoping to come through for Barcelona is Nico Williams still, eventually getting to Barcelona. Because at the end of the day, I think we're looking at the Real Madrid, this Madrid team right now. It's almost like, yeah, they're unbeatable, right? But if we have that combination of Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal in Barcelona with a couple of the other ones who are still, world-class players, I think it's not going to be a walkover for Real Madrid. And trust me, this season is going to be quite different. It's not just even for the La Liga. It's literally, even the Premier League is going to be quite, especially with, let me not go into the Premier League right now. But Lamine Yamal, I wouldn't say he has a lot to prove because he's done in the Euros. Like this, he's done quite a lot already, and he's bought a lot of people's trust. I'm not talking about just young people, even adults. You remember when we were doing a few interviews, and there were people who would say that young lad, and then you have to tell them their name, and they don't even know if you're correct with the name. They just be like, yes, that's the one. Whoever is young,
him.
yeah,
With
he's
the
the one.
braces on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's the one. So he's definitely somebody I'm looking forward to shaking that whole. Belief system where people just feel like it's just going to go to Real Madrid. The question is, can it just be one person? Will everybody step up to the level where Lamine Yamal is playing at this point in time? Would Nico Williams fall through for Barcelona? If they would, then for me it feels like okay, it's going to be quite competitive. Now we're looking at Atletico Madrid as well. You were speaking about Alvarez, right? Am I extremely excited for Alvarez going there? 100%. Why? Because I know Alvarez, he's a very brutal player. He's somebody that's hungry as hell. Like, he's somebody that feels like he's been fasting for the last 30 days and he needs to eat, okay? And, you know, the food is come and he just wants to grab it, right? You know, I would love to... I mean, Haaland has been, you know, kind of hiding the person we should see Alvarez become over time. And there is no way you would have the person of Haaland in a team and Alvarez is coming to start. It's not possible. Like,
He's got a point to prove, hasn't he?
Well, exactly. He has something to prove. Yeah, for me, he doesn't have nothing to prove though. For me, I've seen him do it. I've seen him score like terrific goals. I've seen him score world-class goals. I've seen him take shots. And I'm like, wait, we need to check his boots. There must be something in there, like that's making this ball go that fast and it's that accurate. Yeah, there's been a few times where I've not been extremely proud because I feel for a level of Alvarez, yeah, you should be getting that ball into the net. But he's not consistent when it comes to behaving like that, right? You could clearly tell that he's hungry. He wants to play the game, and he's just not getting the right amount of minutes that he should be. And now going to Atletico Madrid, and then obviously having Conor Gallagher as well. Like you said, they are building the team. It's probably not going to happen this season. It's probably going to take time, like you said, right? But there's now competition happening in, you know, La Liga, right? In coming back to England, this is something they've been doing in England to the point where even the almighty clubs, they've literally got, I mean, look at Chelsea, for example, right? Whereas Chelsea that we used to know, we would have said that, okay, they would always be in the top four somehow, right? Whereas Chelsea today, at some point during the last season, they were literally mid-table all through until, you know, the black guys in the team went to Africa and did the normal, they did the normal stuff, and boom, from nowhere, you know, they're going to play European football somehow. Like, this is what I'm hoping would happen in La Liga, where it's not just going to be Barcelona, Real Madrid. Because the truth is, if you ask Africans, who are the most popular clubs in La Liga? It's literally Madrid and Barcelona. These are the people Africans watch. Now, there needs to be that competition. And I'm seeing Atletico Madrid do it, right? And this is what needs to spread out among all the teams. So now, trust me, you know, just answering your question, Lamine Yamal, 100%, I'm looking forward to what he's going to do this season. And I do hope that Nico Williams falls through for Barcelona.
Yeah, it looks like Barcelona is still very much pressing on Nico Williams. And as we said, the transfer window ends at the end of August. So there is still time, but Dani Olmo is there. Gary, Pedri, and Gavi are likely to return in September. We've seen Fermin Lopez have an astonishing Olympic tournament. Paul Victor has been great in preseason. You know, they have as well Lewandowski, who has been good, Koundé, Araujo. It really could be the Barcelona of old, you know, with the way they're raising these young players potentially. And you're right in when you say that they could give Real Madrid a run for their money. Or is that just my Barcelona brain, you know, going crazy?
Due to a lot of factors, I think that it's not your Barcelona brain. It could be because Real Madrid, obviously, are a very set team. But some of the additions, look, I trust Don Carlo to handle all those niggling egos and whatnot in the dressing room. But you never know. You never know. Things may not click at the very beginning. And with the way some of these Barca boys are playing right now, they may just hit the ground running. And it might. I know Madridistas will not believe me at all because they are coming off a certain season with their players also doing well in whether it's Copa America or Euros or whatever. But I think it's going to be competitive. That's first of all. First of all, I think it's going to be competitive. Secondly, I'm looking at the bar for Hansi Flick. Look, the bar is very, very low. So, like, literally any effort is going to be an achievement. Because remember, after the relative stability of the 2 seasons ago when they won the title, last season they became something of a, you know, of a laughing stock with everything that was happening on the pitch, so many unconvincing performances, and then the drama, the very unnecessary drama over Xavi's future. It brought so much destabilization in the team, in the dressing room, and even on the pitch that I think the level for Hansi Flick is so low, he just has to do the minimal to go up there. What has he brought in right now? Like you said, Paul Victor, he's had a great offseason. I've loved watching him in this offseason. What does he bring to the team? A bit of steel, but just a little bit of guile as well. Okay. And I think that he's a refreshing presence. And to think that Barca got him for 2.7 million euros highlights something that I think may be a blessing in disguise in these last 2, 3, 4 years for Barcelona, which is the team has been forced to learn how to buy cheap, look for quality, but in a cheap, in a cheap way, in a more maybe cheap is to in a come on guys, help me, in a financially
Financially
sustainable way.
viable, Gary.
They're
Financially
frugal with their
viable.
money these days.
They are frugal with
There
their
you
money.
go.
It's forced them. You look at the players who have been let go, and maybe 10 years ago they wouldn't be doing that. They'll be keeping them on the books just to have a bigger squad there. So you've got Oriol Romeo, who's gone on loan, Marcos Alonso, Sergio Roberto, who's been released, Dest on a free, Serginho Dest on a free, obviously. What's his name? Pedrola, who's been sold for only 3 million. But these days, 3 million for Barcelona is a lot of money because they use some of that 3 million to get Paul Victor, and there has been change. Mark Gu has gone for 6
There'll be
million.
change.
Shafi Riyad has gone for 9 million. So all these players and the business that they've done has ensured that Barca have been forced to live within their means, which you can't say for now. Once they were hampered because of all these, because of their very, very volatile financial position, and it means that they have not made any major signings yet. Um, I'm thinking that if Danny Olmo crosses the line, has he crossed the line yet? No.
Yeah,
Has he crossed the line yet?
he's crossed the line.
Right. With that out of the way, I'm thinking that there's a bit of excitement in the dressing room. And before the transfer window ends, the fact that Olmo has come in, I'm thinking it's probably likely that he can get one or two, maybe not super expensive players across the line, but one or two players to make things more interesting as well. So, with a host of key players yet to properly start in pre-season, it's difficult, I think, to read into what Hansi Flick's plans are yet. Okay, but from what we have seen in pre-season, it's pretty good and pretty nice. Gavi, like you said, he's not due back at least late October, early November, like we have heard. The starting lineup should be similar to last season from what we have so far, which is to say Ter Stegen, Balde, Kubasi, Araujo, Kunde, De Jong, Gundogan, Olmo, now that is down the line, Pedri, Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, which is not a bad starting 11 to have all things considered in a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think you made some great points there about how Barca have become very frugal with their money, obviously, and I think looking more to the Messiah than they were a couple years back. And I think it's gone back to their roots, and that's fantastic for them. Alex, the pressure is not on Hansi Flick, as Gary was saying, because the bar is so low, and that actually does play into Barca's favor, does it not? And also to bring in just some new kind of refreshing blood almost.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been a difficult few years for Barcelona, as much as, on the pitch and off the pitch. Watching Real Madrid do so well, it's been tough. They've had some problems off the pitch. They've not been the powerhouse that we once knew that they were back when they had Messi, Luis Suarez and Neymar. And I think we're slowly starting to see them stop that downward fall. I think, like you said, they're using more academy products from La Masia, and I think they're looking within their means. They know they can't overspend on players. They know that they have to, reduce their spending a little bit. But I think it's exciting to see these new lads get an opportunity, and I think that's something we've seen with Barcelona over the recent years. The likes of Gavi, Pedri, Lamine Yamal, these players that otherwise might not have got a chance because they'd be signing these big-time players. So, yeah, the pressure is off Barcelona. They can go out, they can enjoy this season, but there will come a point, and this is football. Football can be a brutal game. Fans might get impatient. They might think, right, we've got to start producing results. As much as it's brilliant to see these young lads come through, we want to see them actually produce something on the pitch. So I think if they're not there challenging for the title, I can see fans getting quite frustrated with the team because, they're a team that should be, albeit Real Madrid are levels above everyone else, should be at least challenging for that top spot.
Yeah, I completely agree. All right, guys. Well, La Liga kicks off, like we said, in 8 days' time next Thursday with Athletic Bilbao taking on Getafe. Will Nico Williams still be there? Who's to say? But I'm very excited. Valencia and Barcelona will play on Saturday. Real Madrid is taking on Mallorca as well. It's going to be a great weekend. But let's move along to Italy. And Internazionale. Gary, as we're talking about Real Madrid and if anyone could stop them in La Liga, can anyone stop Inter this season in the Serie A?
Well, the short answer is yes. The long answer is not really.
Break it down for us.
Well, we would have to look at the transfer acquisitions of the other clubs versus what Inter have done to be able to see what, and like, Real Madrid in Spain, Barca are expected to challenge, but Alex used the correct set of words. They are levels above everybody. And I think that right now, Inter seem to be levels above as well. Everybody in Serie A. They've been able to keep the bulk of their team, the core of their team, and they would only get stronger with practice. I mean, they are, and you look at their coach as well. He seems to thrive on the success, and they will be better, So no, I don't think anybody will be good enough in Serie A too. I don't know what the guys think. I don't think so.
Last year, Inter finished ahead of Milan by 19 points. 19! Like, this isn't even a competition. It was so far gone so early. What's changed with Milan this year, Alex? I mean, they have had a good preseason, obviously, but as we spoke about yesterday, preseason is, if anything, more about fitness and obviously seeing fans abroad. But we know Rafael Leao has a point to prove, and he continues to want to do that. Your boy, Christian Pulisic, also had a great season last year, looking like he's in good form. But what can...
Every player that's left Chelsea to go play somewhere else, they're in good form. Just points.
You're actually so true.
No, facts,
it's almost
facts.
like Manchester United as well.
Yeah,
You have players go to Manchester United, Di Maria goes to Man United, worse,
Sancho
leaves. Edison Cavani, Alexis Sanchez.
No, I mean, a whole
Juan
bunch
Mata.
of them.
I mean, we could this let's not do that. Let's not do that. We could get into it. But no, is there anything that AC Milan can do? I mean, we saw from the percentages there on the screen for who's going to win. It was actually Juve who's the second favorite, with Milan, I think, 2% afterwards. But I'm thinking AC Milan might have a better chance than Juve this season. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I think Inter Milan are clear favourites, so I'd be surprised if anyone else wins the league. But I do think, I'm looking at Juve, they've had quite a good transfer window. I think they've got rid of some players that, perhaps were taking up large quantities of that salary cap, and they've brought in some good players. They brought in Douglas Luiz from Aston Villa, who I think is a smart signing. I also think Roma have a point to prove. They've brought across Artem Dovbyk from Girona, who people thought he was going to go to Atletico Madrid, but he's gone to Roma. Daniele De Rossi is doing a good job there. He took over midway through last season, and I think he's brought them to a good point. So I think you have to look at Juve, and obviously they've got rid of a lot of players this summer. It is a sort of a rebuild in a way. They've obviously, with the new manager, Thiago Motta, and they're looking to get back to the top of Italian football. So I think it will be Inter's to lose, but I think more so, I know AC Milan have the players. They've obviously brought in Alvaro Morata, so that could be a positive for them. Obviously looking to improve their goal-scoring record, and I think Morata could be that someone to... I know you're going to ridicule me for saying that, but I do think on his day, Alvaro Morata is a good striker. We've seen him do it. He can produce good football, and I think with the team that AC Milan have, they will do well. But I think the closest that Inter Milan will be challenged will be by Juve. I think Juve are on their way back up towards the top of Italian football.
I feel like if there's anything you don't know how to do well in life, right, and you just need somebody to make you feel better, speak to Alex. Like Alex, I think Alex is that guy that would make you feel good about yourself. Like when you go to school, you write an exam, and then maybe your result is like 10 over 100, right? And Alex is your dad. Alex would be like, "Well, 10 over 100. I mean, it's not bad. It's not. I mean, you're actually good at this, son. You just need to improve a bit. But I think this is perfect.
Yeah, but I think with Alvaro Morata, yes, he's not been on his top form. But on his day, I think he is a good
I
striker.
think so too.
And
On
I do
his
think
day,
this
it's
move.
just what is it going to be one of those days?
I think
Fam,
this-
listen, on his day, there are people that have one day in a whole in a whole season. Like so
We're still waiting for yours.
well, exactly, fam.
It went over.
But I think this move could be the thing that Alvaro Morata needed. A fresh start, something different. He's obviously had a lot of difficulty in Spain. He's not quite settled. There's been issues with security with his family. I think off the pitch can really take a toll on the pitch. I know, football is all about the mental side of the game, and when you have outside factors that are affecting your game like that, it can be difficult. So this could be the move that he needed just to reignite himself a little bit. And I can see him doing very well because we've looked at him in the past at Juventus, and I think he impressed quite a lot. He's had his moments with Atletico Madrid. Yes, maybe not been brilliant in the Euros for Spain, but he led the team to the final and won it. So, yeah, I think this could be the right move for Alvaro Morata.
If you ask me, Morata is a better event host. He's a show host than he's a striker.
He's coming for your job.
No, listen, that's what I was scared about, because when I was seeing him do the job when they came to Madrid and they were doing it, I felt like, fam, just focus on being a striker. Like, you're doing this job way too well than you are being a striker on the pitch, man. Jesus. I mean, this is why I'm here. Like, don't come compete my job with me, man.
I don't even have words at
Morata.
this point.
Don't get me wrong, though. Morata is a very good player, okay? He knows how to kick the ball here and there. He knows how to do a few offsides here and there. But, seeing him as some kind of addition to AC Milan, like, that's like some God-level move. Like, it's almost like you're saying, who would, like Mbappe coming to Real Madrid. Like, yeah, we understand that he's a global world-level, like, world-class footballer, but putting that same thing for Morata, fam, chill, man.
Just come back in May next year, and we'll see how he's done.
Yo, just stop wearing this suit. When you wear this suit on the show, I think you start making this player feel like, even Gary, please tell us, what do you think about Morata as a striker?
I think he's had a really brilliant career. His agents must be paid a lot of money. First of all, big ups to his agents or whoever his agents have been. You look at the roster of clubs this guy has played in, like, it's the who is who of European football, and he's been very lucky. But I think that, he's one of those players that I look at and I feel there must be something about him that coaches at a certain level see that maybe ordinary Joes like you and I don't see, which is why he keeps getting these profile of clubs. And what is it that Alvaro, what does he have? He moves into spaces brilliantly, first of all, right?
Facts.
His conversion rate is not that bad. It's just his decision making when it seems to count can be suspect, aka the Lukaku syndrome, right? Because Romelu has a ridiculous conversion rate, and the numbers, and he says it all the time. Now look at my numbers. It is just that Lukaku, look, you score 90% of the time, but it is the 10% that matters. So you see, it's like we have a saying in the fashion world that when you wear a mini skirt, what you reveal is as important as what is being hidden. You understand? When you wear a bikini, what is being hidden is as important as what is being revealed. Now, what Romelu is showing us in terms of goals is as important as the two big chances he seems to miss in every big game. And that's the problem with Romelu. And that's the problem with Alvaro. And I think that's why they have a bad rep. It's not that they are bad players, no. So will he have the rejuvenation in Italy that he desires? Let's look at it from a holistic point of view. The Serie A is a slower league than in England. He's with a team where he'll be given lots and lots of platforms. He'll be given lots and lots of opportunities to convert chances because of the cast that he'll be playing with. So his conversion rate, I'm hoping, will be better than he had last season. The whole family thing, it's quite clearly a big deal, for him, because, I mean, the man says he's not appreciated in Spain. I thought that was very interesting. Sarah, I'd want to know, maybe after I answer this question, what is it really that was Alvaro's problem with Spain? Like, is it like people don't like him, or I don't know what it was, but
I mean, if you can remember, prior to the 2019 Copa America, Argentina hated Messi. They were burning like flags on his face, and now to have the audacity, and you guys are cheering for him. I remember. But Morata, it could be a similar thing. Listen, I don't think it was to the extent, but I think Spain obviously went through a lull after the 2012 Euros, right? And until recently, after the past Nations League, now they're back on the up and up with winning Nations League, Euros, under 19. They're in the competition for the gold medal, both the men and the women. Like they've really turned it around, and they're in another golden era. There's no doubt about it. But I think Alvaro Morata was one of those players that was prominent during this lull. And I think whenever you go through a lull and you're always comparing to the golden era, I think this is what Spanish people were doing. You could never be David Villa, you know? Like, you could never be Fernando Torres. Like, this is something that I think football fans in general, we always, compare players or teams or eras, and it's something that you can't do. And then Morata, I think, had a bit of a target on him specifically because of his decision-making. So, for example, he makes 3 silly mistakes, and you're saying, oh, how could you miss that? And then on top of that, when Spain's playing badly after everything they did, I think he was an easy target. And now, I mean, he's beloved again here.
But then again, Sarah, what you got to understand is, do you blame the fans for reacting like that? For me, I would expect somebody who they've put some level of expectation, especially when they give you the name, a striker. Like this is what as a striker, there are things that are expected. Yeah, apart from the goal scoring, they judge you based on your positioning, how you're able to run in behind defenders. Like there are a few things that if you are seen as a world-class striker, right? And let's say you are the point man, like literally, say for example, you are the Haaland, right? And then you start making some kind of crazy, silly mistakes. But you wouldn't expect fans to be like, hey, we're just going to wait for when you will be better. Like for somebody, Morata, if they say that the Spanish people don't like him, fine, let's forget about Spanish people. Let's talk about fans in general. Like me, for example, you mentioned him, what did I do? I just busted out laughing, right? I'm laughing because I feel like, when you say Morata, the first thing that comes to my mind is Nicholas Jackson. The next thing that comes to my mind is Lukaku, like Gary did say. Like there are things you would see. Let me differentiate these two things. Yeah. As a striker, what is your job? Your job is to score goals, right? Haaland, is Haaland actually a footballer on the pitch? I don't see him like a footballer, right? Is he a goal scorer? He's a goal scorer to me. Okay, Haaland does not dribble. Does he guide the ball like you would see from Lukaku? Is very good with shielding ball, guiding, waiting for somebody to run in for. He would guide it, run for you, and then he releases the ball to you. Like these are the things that. But when the problem is you not being able to convert the chances, that is where it becomes a problem, and that's where you start having issues with people. Nicholas Jackson isn't a bad footballer, right? I've told you that I've seen him play from wings in Chelsea. I've seen him play from... I've seen him even make some kind of passes, and I'm like, wait, is it the same Nicholas Jackson I know? Why? It's only because there are some chances you would expect him to convert. And look at Darwin Núñez, for example, again. Núñez is a crazy footballer. When you look at his strength, when you look at how he takes on people, when you look at even his attitude on the pitch, but then there's a ball just next to the goalpost. He will miss it, right? At that point, what happens? You forget everything that he has been doing on the pitch just because he has just missed one of the most important chances you would expect somebody like that. So you wouldn't expect people to smile at him and be like, yeah, I understand that you're working so hard, but you just couldn't score the easiest goal on the pitch. They're going to hit you for it 100%.
But I think this is what Alex was talking about with your mental game so much affects your physical game. And that, when you have these misses, this is what takes over when you are a footballer. Darwin Núñez, I think, is actually an anomaly in this situation because I think Darwin Núñez will miss 700, open goals, and he is none the wiser. He looks like he's just, I'm having the best time. No, genuinely, it looks like he's going over his head. But if anything, that's the best mentality because for him, he keeps going. He keeps going. I think Darwin Núñez just needs to like something just needs to switch, and then I think he's going to be unstoppable. I'm just waiting for that switch because you're right, he is such a good footballer.
Oh, yes.
And it's just, there's just one little thing. He's just, always a centimeter this way, that, whatever. But I think a lot of it does really affect the game. So, I mean, if he goes, he's already gone to AC Milan, but if this is going to help him play the better football, then it's for the best in the end.
Sarah, can I also say that with Alvaro as well, I think that another thing that has bothered his career is that he is openly sensitive in a way that most top-level footballers are not.
Yeah.
He externalizes the sensitivity. I mean, most footballers will keep it in, but he's very open about his struggles. And so in this day and age where fans are as unforgiving as they are,
Yeah.
they feed on it on his bad days. So he's been very open about his troubles with not wanting to be noticed. Now remember, this is a guy who was playing for Real Madrid. Do you know when he was playing for Real Madrid and the kind of pressure he had at his back? Since then, everywhere he has gone, he has had big moves for big money and big expectations. He has taken time to land. He has eventually landed well everywhere and had decent numbers, but his struggles have been very public. And in the time that he has taken to settle, he's not your kind of player who will just keep quiet and just work on the pitch. He's going to tell people openly that I know I have a problem and so and so and so. So he had an interview recently where he spoke about these things. And I just understood the man a bit more, that this is probably why that most footballers will not talk about their struggles, but Alvaro will do that. He will talk about the fact that he needs a psychologist, he's that, that. And I think fans just feed into it and don't forgive him for it on his bad days. And that's just it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, let's see what he does at AC Milan. Maybe he'll change your mind, Klinton.
No, but then, no, yeah, sometimes, making moves to different teams does help. It could be that the whole environment, there's an aura that could just change everything mentally for him, and he would probably do the opposite of what I think he is. But then again, when you mentioned Darwin Núñez and not, caring about whatever it is, fam, I just remembered him punching or going into the crowd to punch people fighting his family. In my head, I'm like, wait, did you expect this guy to have some kind of emotional weakness, even if he's missing 700 chances? Somebody that goes into the stand to start beating people up, fam. This guy I would not expect somebody that has that kind of mental strength, right? Like Darwin Núñez.
Well, because we haven't seen him really express himself like
No,
that.
no, for real.
But this was obviously a much different situation.
No, I mean, it's a different. No, but the reason I brought that was I'm just talking about the mental strength.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people who would not go that extent. Like I'm talking about a global star, right? Going into the stand and saying, no, listen, I'm not living up to the security officers. I know this is not the topic we're speaking about, but we're talking about the mental side of things. Like somebody having the mental strength to go into the stand and say, no, if you want to beat my family, come to me. Like me, I'm the star. So you wouldn't expect such a person to now show you some kind of emotional weakness on the pitch. Whatever he does, he doesn't care.
No, I completely agree. All right, well, guys, jump to our Twitter if you want to vote for who you think is going to win La Liga. We have a poll up right now, and we'll jump back to that in a few minutes. Before we wrap up the show, Alex, let's quickly talk a little bit of transfer news, because guess who signed another player? You guessed it, it is Chelsea. Aaron Anselmino is signed with Chelsea for £20 million there, or 20 million euros, 50 million pounds. I'm not even going to give it this any more attention because I don't want to. We had a full show about Chelsea and their signings yesterday, and I can't do it. Let's talk about Dominic Solanke to Spurs.
I think that could be a really good signing for Spurs. I think that's probably been their one area where they're lacking. You see, I think Ange Postecoglou is building a really good squad there. Heung-min Son is the star of that team. They've got some really good players, James Maddison, Mickey van der Ven. They've brought in some good defenders as well. Son Dragusin do really well at the Euros for Romania this summer, and I think as a squad, they needed that year just to, for Ange to build his style, create that culture at the club. Because Spurs, since Pochettino left, they've had quite a difficult time. They've had Mourinho, they've had Conte, they've had lots of managers. And when you have quite frequent changing of managers, it's difficult to set that culture. And we see how well Ange did at Celtic and how he built that winning culture. So I think he can do that at Spurs. And if they play their cards right, I feel like this season could be a promising season for Spurs. And with Solanke to add those goals, we saw how well he did for Bournemouth last year.
Brilliant.
I think that could be the missing piece in the jigsaw to get them that top 4 finish.
I do hope with him going to Spurs that he also gets the attention he deserves, because I think playing at a team like Bournemouth, unfortunately, the Chasers not as big of a team as Spurs, and he was brilliant last season. So hopefully he'll continue to shine alongside those players you mentioned. Also, William Pacho from Frankfurt going to PSG. I'm reading here in our rundown. Will PSG win the Champions League, from our French producer, Ben? I'm seeing what these little notes are. Gary, is PSG going to win the Champions League?
Hell no. I mean, look, I get why it's a question. Because of the coach.
Yeah.
I mean, Luis Enrique is a tunnel vision, uber focused, overachieving. He's going to squeeze stone out of water kind of human being. We know that. But I think the problem with PSG is not the coach, it's not the players, it's the system. There's something in the water that is wrong. The water is not good. There's something in the water that's not good. And I don't know what can change it. I mean, it's I don't know.
Come
But
on, Gary,
I think there's
don't
something
say,
in the
Gary,
PSG.
stop it. Gary, stop it. Don't say you don't know what can change it. What do you mean you don't know what can change it? Yeah, you are right. You are sitting in the country where something they can do something that will change it. You are telling me nothing can change it. What do you mean by that? No, but remember we were having this conversation yesterday, right? Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday, right? I was literally saying that at this point, if you would have Neymar, Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe in the same team,
Look, this is what we would do. Look.
You see, I told you, and he was denying it earlier, right? No,
Gary, what happened?
I'm just happy. I'm happy that he's doing it live on TV. Like he's giving you a glimpse of how it's done in Accra. Like, fam, all he needs to do, is to take that stuff, go to the PSG stadium, and just spray it around. Boom, Champions League is there. I tell you for free.
No pressure, Gary. No pressure at all. Yeah, but let's see. I mean, we spoke about PSG and their potential. They have a really young team. They have a team that played well, more or less, in the Champions League last season. But yeah, usually they hit a wall, a recurring wall for them every season. So I'm not too sure about that. We do have some Olympics coming up later today on SportyTV. Guys, I'm just going to let you know what's coming up. We have the men's 3,000-meter steeplechase. We have the women's 3,000. It was 3,000. Oh, yeah, okay. I can read. Don't worry, guys. These numbers. Women's 1,500-meter semifinal. We have the women's long jump final, the women's heptathlon, 200-meter heats, that's a word. Women's 400-meter hurdles. Men's basketball, USA versus Serbia, LeBron James. Men's, I really can't speak right now. I can't say.
No, but I mean, speaking about the Nigerian women long jump, obviously we have 3 Nigerian women participating for that one. We Nigerians, we love jumping. I mean, you see, and it's even Nigerian women. Nigerian women, they love jumping from. No, let me not say that.
Wow.
No,
I'm
right.
gonna need you to
Klinton.
go.
No, I didn't know. I didn't say. Like,
Get him.
listen.
YouTubers, get him.
I didn't finish the sentence. Okay, you don't know what I was gonna say, but listen. Whatever you think it is, you are not correct, or you could also be correct. But it could be that they are jumping from success to success. You never know. But yeah, so we have 3 Nigerian women participating, and I'm hoping that one of them would eventually come back with a good medal. I mean, let it be the first good medal we'll be having from the Nigerian squad in the Olympics. Gary, they said that the Ghanaians went there, and for some reason they absconded into Paris because some Ghana is hard at the moment, and they saw the opportunity, and there is nobody participating for Ghana.
Klinton,
what's going on with Ghana, man?
I've been, from the beginning of the Olympics, I've been focusing my coverage purely on the African angle. So that's been my business. And of course, I mean, it's been annoying to watch, and very proud, to be very fair, Nigeria send a contingent that has been supremely competitive. Like, they have been in events that are traditionally not even the forte of Nigeria. So yesterday they had a cyclist in there, for example, and it was the first time they had somebody in the 400 meters for the first time in 28 years or so. There was another one since 1986. There's been a lot of history, obviously. Favor Ofili, even though she was safe, it needed a photo finish to separate her from the third.
Yeah.
That's how well she did with all the problems that they had. We have, and if you look at the larger African picture, we have three Nigerians, like Klinton said, in the high jump, which is phenomenal. So you've got Ruth, you've got Esme, and you've got Patience, all the three of them in there as well. Then we have 4 Africans in the 200-meter finals, which is great. You know, 2 Zimbabweans. I have no idea how you had 2 Zimbabweans in there. Letile Tebogo as well. So the African story has been great. I don't know if you know this, but Africa has never won more than 33 medals in a single Olympics. The entire continent of Africa, never. So we have a problem. Africa has an Olympics problem, and hopefully, there are so many factors.
Sorry, Gary,
that's what we-
this one, obviously because of time, we can't really speak much, but we'll come back to this conversation again to speak as to the reason why our Africans are not bringing down the medals. There's just something about it. I have a serious point, but we'll come back to it.
All right, well, let's see how they end up doing, because the Olympics will be coming to an end on Saturday. So is that correct?
Soon. It's
It's
gone
quite-
so quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's come and gone. It's just, but
we
so
got the Paralympics
we'll come back to this
back.
conversation because it's quite interesting.
definitely.
So we'll see what the total tally will be for the continent of Africa. Until then, guys, we'll be back again tomorrow. Really quickly, let me just check the poll for La Liga, and it is 58.3% of you think Real Madrid are going to win. So let's see what happens. We are back again tomorrow we're at a different time tomorrow, aren't we? We're at 3:30 Madrid time. I don't know what that is in watt.
Just think about whatever it is in watt.
That's it. That's all I'm going to say. And we are doing a massive Premier League preview. So join us tomorrow ahead of that and ahead of the Manchester Derby on Saturday. Until then, enjoy the Olympics.
Everywhere.